Hey guys, welcome to today's video. This is going to be a quick version, and this is Paint with Lovejoy. Thanks so much for joining. Please subscribe to the channel and share this channel with your community. Like I said earlier, this is going to be a quick version, so if you prefer the full-length, non-time-lapsed version, check out my Patreon page and my Paint with Lovejoy website. If you want to further support Paint with Lovejoy, please do. It all helps. And for more in-depth courses, check out paintwithlovejoy.com. And as
All right,
always,
guys, it's
share
going to be
this with
another
your
fun
community.
painting, a nice intro to pointillism. So grab your supplies, transfer your traceable to your surface, and as always, make sure you take your progress photos. Today's video is going to be a time-lapsed version. If you would like the full version of this video, check out my Paint with Lovejoy website or my Patreon page, and you can have access to them. So with that being said, please do not paint as fast as the video will be playing. So for pointillism, I'm demonstrating a few different dots that you can make, and you can try different brushes. And basically with pointillism, we're going to be making repetitive dots. It does get kind of tedious sometimes, but try to get lost in the process of painting today. As we fill up this space with these overlapping dots, we're going to change some colors. We're going to give a little variation. But as always, with any of my videos, you have full permission to change out colors and make this your own. So again, right now I'm making these little dots. I'm using that medium flat brush with a light blue paint. And each time that I mix the paint, the shade might be a little lighter or darker. So if that happens to you, totally okay. You're just using this video as a guideline. Now, again, you are making your repetitive dots and you're kind of going for the same consistency with each dot. And I do want you overlapping the dots. Um, that kind of fills up the space. And as you get into pointillism, when you overlap the dots and they're real close together, they do create more of a solid opaque field compared to when there's more space in between the dots, allowing the canvas or the background to show through. So it's really kind of a fun way to play with color, play with transition, and just get lost in the groove of painting. Now, if you are on a stretched canvas, I do recommend you can carry these dots around the edges of the canvas and continue that trend. But if you forget, don't worry about it. So again, we're just moving right along, filling up the whole background with these shades of light blue, and you can already see a few variations, some lighter and some darker, in my background. So wherever you're at today, embrace what you are painting. And if you are holding your breath, please take a big inhale, relax. You're doing great. You're going to do better than you may be giving yourself credit for. And we do tend to hold our breath when we get a little bit nervous when we're trying something new. And with that being said, if you do find that your brush is kind of shaky, that does mean you're holding your breath. So exhale as you touch the brush to the canvas, and that will help your process. I also want you to take note that every couple of brush strokes, I am going back and grabbing more paint. So I want to make sure that you're doing that as well. You're going to get into a nice groove, but make sure that you're always going back, grabbing more paint to apply it to the canvas. And again, totally okay to overlap the dots. If they happen to be, maybe some small ones and some big dots, that's okay. Just embrace where you're at the moment. All right, this is coming along nicely. Again, please do not paint as fast as the time-lapsed video. Go at your own pace. If you do find yourself starting to get kind of sloppy or really tired, it is okay to take a break. Step away from your painting. These little dots do get kind of tedious. So if you can look at them as kind of a little meditation and a escape away from the world, that will help your process. And then again, notice when you're getting too tired, step away, take a break, and then come back to it. All right, so filling in, we should be moving into a medium blue in a moment. Here we go. And just kind of going around and adding some darker spaces in there. I did simplify um, this Seurat painting. There were a few other elements in the original painting that I did not add. So you can reference my painting, this video, or the original. And again, feel free to adjust for what you see on either one. And with those darker kind of medium blue dots, it just kind of breaks up the space. Good place to pause the video, take your progress photo. We are going to move into the ground. And I am using primary colors. So to make green, we started with the yellow, added a little bit of green to it, or a little bit of blue to that to make our green. And your shade can be lighter or darker than mine. And again, I want you to just observe the general shape and placement that I put each of these colors, and then to the best of your ability, mimic that on your canvas. Now we went with a yellow green, a little bit lighter, just adding more yellow to it. Again, placing those in a few areas and strengthening your power of observation. You're doing great. Remember to breathe. Another place to take a progress photo. And then we're going to move into a yellow orange. And again, yellow with a tiny amount of red to start off light. You can always add more darker pigment as needed. And again, we're just placing this on the road in front of the Eiffel Tower. We're going to do a few other colors and then we'll go back to the yellow orange when we get into the Eiffel Tower. And by doing this, if you did not take a break, by working on the ground, it's allowing the background to dry before we move into the Eiffel Tower. And again, breathe. We're going to move into a yellow orange or a red orange, sorry, a little bit darker, adding a bit more red to that orange mixture. And again, just placing these, it is kind of cool how it breaks up the space and gives a little bit more depth to it. I do recommend, as you are painting this, get out of your chair, look at it from a distance of 5 to 10 feet away, go back to painting it right in front, and then look at it from a distance again. It is pretty cool with the pointillism method how much our eye blends things together as we walk away from it or as we view it from a distance. So here, moving into the Eiffel Tower, back to that yellow orange. Again, just placing those dots on there. Um, if you need to, you can move down to that small pointy brush. And if you're starting to notice that maybe your dots get bigger and bigger, take a look at your brush. Do you have a lot of paint buildup on there? And if so, wipe off that paint and then grab your color fresh again. So now moving into a bit of an orange, and we just added a little bit more red to our light yellow orange mixture. And again, filling in the spaces. Still making those dots. Don't get kind of in the groove of like making a full line as we're working on the Eiffel Tower. Still keep with your dots. The pointillism is actually more important about the process of painting than your final outcome. You're getting comfortable with mixing colors and transitioning from one shade to the next just by using dots. All right, so now we're going to move into a little bit of blue, and it is pretty cool how when we use the blue and we place it on top of these colors, how that blue pushes that part of that image back and the warm colors bring it forward. This is a nice warm, cool color composition and quite a popular color composition for a lot of my first time and beginner painters. You're really drawn to these um, warm, cool colors. So again, just take note and you can go back and look through your photos of just how that blue and the cool colors kind of push back and the warm colors feel like they're coming towards you. And once you kind of do it even in painting, you start to see that in other areas as you're looking at images. So that's really kind of what the process of painting is all about, just getting more comfortable with the process and learning to look at the world from a new perspective. All right, so another place to pause that video, we're going to move into light gray for a few of the structures on the bottom right-hand side in front of the Eiffel Tower. And then we're going to move into a darker medium gray right here and add in a little bit of depth to that horizon line. Again, completely optional. If you are inclined, your instincts are pushing you to do something different, go right ahead and do that. That is what art is about. All right, another place, pause that video, take a progress photo. We're going to move back to our yellow orange and go back and start filling in some areas. If there's some white spaces that you want to put in there, filling in some of the places that maybe got a little too dark, you can place this light orange on top of it and overlap those dots. Again, get out of your chair, look at it from a distance of 5 to 10 feet away. And if you're feeling like, hey, I need a little more yellow over here, go ahead and do that. All right. I am proud of you guys. You're doing so good. I appreciate that you're taking time out of your day to get creative and just kind of forget about the rest of the world for a little bit. That's really what this is about. So moving into red, we're going to be a little more sparing with some of the red, leaving more space in between these dots. Again, strengthening your power of observation to where you see me place them. Feel free to pause the video at any time to analyze a little bit further or even take a screenshot and zoom in. So that way you can see where I might have placed something if my hand was in the way or the video moved along too quickly. All right, and again, kind of like the blue, the red just breaks up that space, that one darker color on the warm color side, just adding depth and creating this nice magical illusion of a 3D image on a flat 2D surface. You guys are magicians without even realizing it. All right, so now we're going to go to a light yellow orange, adding a little more yellow, a little bit of white in there. And you will notice in the original Seurat painting, there is some hints and reflective color, warm colors in the sky. So we're adding that, completely optional. You don't have to do this if you don't like it. And then we'll be moving in with some light blue and putting that on the ground and inside the Eiffel Tower. Again, kind of a reflective color that we see in the world when it's like a foggy day, or even if you're looking at the reflection on the water, you're going to notice that it reflects the surrounding colors. And being an artist, that is one of the things that you do get to start noticing more often. The more that you paint, especially in this style, the more you'll start recognizing those. So here, moved into that light blue. Again, just placing these dots right on top of it. Strengthen your power of observation to get those in there, and pause the video. And again, please do not paint as fast as the video. The full length, real time version is on my Patreon and Paint with Lovejoy websites. All right, this is the home stretch using a little bit of that darker blue. Really proud of you guys. Thanks so much for taking time out of your day. Please don't wait too long to do your next painting. And until then, cheers.